Welcome to Breakfast with Bacon. Here at Throwing Words, we have Doug Bacon, our managing director, and whose name has inspired this series. We have Julie Zalua, our executive assistant, fondly known between us as Jay-Z. She's the engine and wheels that takes our ideas into reality. And me, Lynn Ingersoll, your host. This week, we're going to explore habit forming. Before I jump into that, let's share a little context on why are we doing this and what's the reason. We have been surprised at what we're learning. All of us have worked remotely for years and worked together, and we're just surprised at all the things that we're learning in this new environment. So we hope that in sharing and letting you know what we're learning, that you'll be activated to reflect and think about what you're learning and improve things in your workforce as well. So here we go with habits. Doug, I think you have an interesting story by visiting the doctor. Let's hear it.
Yes, so had a doctor's appointment a couple of weeks ago, and they were taking my blood pressure, and the nurse asked if I was working from home now, and of course, as everyone is. And I told her I was. He said, yeah, I've noticed that the blood pressure for folks who are working from home is lower now, which I thought was an interesting data point. What she didn't know, what I knew, was that for the week and a half before that, I'd been running every day, which is a new habit I've started once we went remote, knowing that I needed to get back into exercise, and the best way to do that would be to create a habit. And so that's what I've done, and I've hit the road running every day since.
JC, how about you?
My habit has been more of a mental exercise. So I received a Christmas gift from my brother a couple months ago. Wasn't very impressed with it, to be honest, but pulled it out because I thought I'm going to do it. It's a project, but it has since become part of my daily routine as far as how I transition from work life to home life, especially now that that's all within this confined space. So it's a paint by number, and I am not at all artistic, but I love the lines, straight lines, just tell me what to do, let me get it done. And so that becomes this. And that was just one very small part of this painting. But it became something that is strangely comfortable and calming and helps me to really focus in on something else than everything else that's going around. So it's become just part of my late afternoon, early evening routine of something that I focus on, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes an hour, just depends.
Wow, that looks great. Quite the artist you have become. There's two great books called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg and then Creative Habit by Twyla Tharp. Both of them talk about triggers, something that prompts them to do their habit. JC, I'm curious what it is that prompts you to get going on this every day.
Usually it's because my attitude is not very good. So whether that's, just being overwhelmed with multiple things going on, or some of the more interpersonal dynamic challenges of living 24/7 with people in your house, I can usually tell internally that my attitude stinks. So I know that that is my trigger. It's time to focus on something else. So that's when I usually do that.
How about you, Doug?
Yeah, I use time as my trigger. So at 4 o'clock every day, that's when I kind of close the computer and start to get ready to go run. And the other piece that trigger I've done is I changed the question that I asked myself. I found that when I asked myself, what time am I going to run today, I got a different result than asking myself if I was going to run. So kind of making it a foregone conclusion that I will be running. It's just a question of when.
Great. Well, we hope that in sharing what we're learning, that you can take some time to think about, what are you learning? What are your triggers? What can prompt you to create a new habit for these uncertain times? And the other key to habit development is doing it every day. So finding a formula that works for you to get it done every day. Well, that's our story for today. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. And thanks for joining us. See you later.